Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Mahala Monday. It is that time. It is the 15th of February, the day after Valentine's Day. Good morning. Thanks for watching. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dougal. Rhoda's here, everybody.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Mahala Monday. And yes, Dougal, happy Valentine's Day for yesterday.
Yes, thank
I
you.
hope you enjoyed it.
Likewise.
Oh, it was lovely, I must say. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So I was a bit creative yesterday. I actually made butternut hearts.
Wow. No, I don't believe you. Where's it now? I don't see them. But we're certainly spreading the love. That is what it is all about, of course.
So true.
And that is why we're looking forward to today's episode. This is going to be really fantastic. So firstly, thank you very much for joining us. As you know, it's an interactive show, so you can simply, the details at the bottom of your screen right now, at Nickay Productions. You'll find us on YouTube, at Nickay Productions, on Facebook, of course. And we welcome your questions and your comments, because that is pivotal to finding out as much information as we can. But we're certainly spreading the love, because this is exactly what Mahala Monday is about.
That is so true, Dougal. So for us to give the information out there, to be able to decide, you know what do you want to do in your life these days? You know, it's just not about necessarily business, or you found your career, you know exactly where you want to be. And there's certain things you maybe want to do in life at the end of the day that, you know, that just puts a little bit extra spice in your life. You know, people is always wanting to do that little bit extra, not knowing where or how to do it. So this is one of our shows today that's actually going to highlight that for you today.
You know what, and I like the way you put it, the spice, because this is really it. And one of the most important things, of course, is that who we're going to be talking about today, and who we will be speaking to, is the Tygerberg Children's Hospital Trust. Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, rather, beg your pardon. Those are the wonderful people that we will be talking to, because as we know, Rhoda, this pandemic, and you know what, it's like, I battle it. I'm thinking I want to do a redo in 2020. You know, I kind of want to get everything just going again.
Yeah.
And they've been doing amazing work. This is really, and it's so important for us to get behind it. And apart from the amazing work that they have done in the past, I mean, I am super excited to find out exactly what they will be doing, because they play a huge part and a pivotal part in society, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, as you know, of course, it is a live show. That is what we're doing. So we're live on YouTube and Facebook at Nickay Productions. We welcome your comments and, of course, your questions that we have. And before we introduce you to our guest, let me just say thank you, because we've got a couple of people watching as well. And thank you very much for taking the time and being part of Mahala Monday on this 15th of February, the day after Rhoda made the butternut hearts. So big shout out to Ayalimi. Thank you very much for watching and joining us this morning. We are so happy to have you along, of course, and just as much as you, we're looking forward to the show. But now let's get into it.
Yeah.
Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, as you know, have been done amazing work over many a year, and they play such a pivotal part in society. And of course, he's been on the show before, Rhoda, which is the CEO, Jason Falken, of the Trust. And he has joined us before, and it is such a pleasure having him back. And he's not alone today, because today we also have one of the Trust champions joining us this morning. So let's get Jason in. Jason Falken, CEO of the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Good morning, sir. Thank you for being on Mahala Monday. How are you? Are you well?
Good morning, Rhoda and Dougal. I'm doing exceptionally well, thank you. And really happy to be back on Mahala Mondays. Thanks for hosting us.
No, it's an absolute pleasure having you, sir. And joining you today as well, one of the champions of the Trust is Venetia Brandt. She's also with us, and I'm really looking forward to talking to her as well. Venetia, hello, greetings.
Greetings, Venetia.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming and being with us here on Mahala Monday. We're really looking forward to talking with you. And you know what, I want to jump straight in there, Jason, because a lot of people might be asking, people have heard of a Tygerberg Hospital. I mean, we're looking at one of the biggest establishments and organization on the planet, really. So people would have heard of Tygerberg Hospital. Just in a brief overview, what exactly is it that you guys do as the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust? What exactly do you do?
Well, the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust very simply supports the child patients of Tygerberg Hospital, which seems simple, but when you delve down into the details of this, you can see how complicated it gets, because 60% of the Western Cape's children regard Tygerberg Hospital as the primary healthcare facility. It is the biggest, by a large amount, the biggest pediatric unit in the province, second biggest in the country. So the sheer volume of support that is needed to those kids is basically the root of our work. How we decipher that is basically through what we call 4 baskets of care: neonatology, which is one of the premier services of Tygerberg Hospital; specialized care, that includes things like childhood cancer units, tuberculosis units, all those things which are also unique to Tygerberg Hospital because we specialize in those kinds of things. And then also general pediatrics, which speaks to this volume, this large volume of kids that we support. And then, of course, social development, which is something that we included in 2019 as part of our holistic view of healthcare. So health doesn't start in the hospital, it starts in our communities. So how do we look, instead of healthcare, wellness of our kids? And that includes the circular nature of health and wellness through homes and families and child and family-centered care.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, that's what we do.
Yeah, you know what, and I always get blown away about this the things that you do, which is absolutely fantastic. But on what you've just said, and I just want to ask you, considering the pandemic, that has obviously increased the demands placed on the trust, and you guys are probably, and I'm assuming this, busier than ever, if I could put it that way.
Yes, so there's 2 ways to look at that, and this we kind of discovered last year as the pandemic was forced onto all of us. Number one is that COVID-19 is largely considered an adult disease. So 2020 resources in mass got drawn away from support of children towards support of adults who are at risk because of the pandemic. So during the middle of last year, we found that a lot of our support base basically closed shop. I'm talking our big donors, while they shifted their focus towards supporting adults with COVID-19. So we lost a lot of support there. We also lost support from companies who were suffering what they call the second pandemic, the economic pandemic. So all those things. And then on the other hand, lockdown rules and things like that restricted our ability to raise funds by ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
So kind of this double impact. That was early in 2020. But as 2020 unfolded, we saw more and more unique changes coming into play. So for example, by October, we had realized that through the needs coming from the hospital for kids, that the supply of breast milk, donated breast milk for our premier babies, for example, was running thin, because as a follow-on of the pandemic, mothers wouldn't come to the hospital to donate milk, all sorts of things like that, which means that there's this knock-on effect that no one's actually talking about. So how can the trust help with that? And that's why the end of last year, we launched the Latch On Breast Milk Drive, which incidentally we're picking up again now in March next month. So that'll be one of our big drives early in the year, is to restart the Latch On Breast Milk Drive, where we're asking moms to contribute donations of milk, and also things like glass jars where moms actually express their milk into. So the whole value chain around the donation of breast milk is what the trust is pushing in collaboration with the hospital.
Wow, just listening to you, Jason, I mean, it's quite daunting to the fact that all of this needs funding. And as you've stated that with the pandemic, it's become so difficult because most of your sponsors obviously felt the COVID reaction of what had happened, the knock-on effect. And this is why we've got the show as well today, just to highlight at the end of the day that people out there, you don't have to be necessarily a business. You can also make that difference at the end of the day, to be able to be there for the trust, because there is so much involved. If you really think of it, 60%, it's quite high. Kids to be able to see that the trust has to see it, or Tygerberg has to see it too. So they need funding. Those kids need milk, like you said. There is such a lot at the end of the day that's required and needed. So we want to highlight today as well and obviously you guys had this meeting on what's going to be happening for this year ahead, because this is what everybody's looking at, and irrelevant of the fact that we're still sitting with a bit of obviously sitting with COVID now, it's difficult to see your year plan necessarily, because we don't know when we can have a lockdown, when the president's going to say we're going to a next stage. We are uncertain right now, but unfortunately the children still need the support from the trust at the end of the day. So how, with the overview and highlights for the year, what their planning have you got for the year at the end of the day?
So January is normally a very quiet month for us because we spend that time in introspection with the teams, running workshops, trying to figure out what do we want to do this year, what is the focus that's required, and also looking back over the past 12 months to see how we performed. And Rhoda and Dougal, I must say this first and foremost, a very, very, very big thank you to the communities of people who came out to support us last year. Because looking at what happened over 2020 and those negative impacts of the pandemic that I explained earlier, our trust was still able to show growth across all four metrics that we measure. I'll park the financial metric for now, but I'd like to talk about one of the biggest growths that we've ever seen in our trust history, which is donations in kind. So this is average people who don't need to give you something, but they are prepared to give you a bag of mealie meal for families who are destitute, or some soap for our preemie moms, or knitted beanie caps for our babies, these kinds of things. Over the past year, we were able to receive almost 2 million rands worth of donations in kind, just from our own communities of people, which for me is a spectacular example of how giving South Africans are, and especially our people in the Western Cape, because despite their own hardships, they are able to do this, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Jason, just listening to what you're saying, of course, and just going back to what you said a short moment ago as well, just the knock-on effect really of when the pandemic hit, and I think the way you have coped and dealt with it up until this point has been really, really remarkable, and just the kind of work that you do is absolutely really, really fantastic. Now, looking at the year of 2021, I mean, we are in February, so there's obviously a lot of excitement, and you've touched on it a little bit there. You've touched on some of the exciting stuff that is coming ahead. What are, if you just had to thumbsuck one or two of events that you might have been planning up, and a sort of an overview of what is really coming for the year from the trust side? If you could just touch on that for me for just a second.
So our volunteering club, which is called the Champions for Children, is something unique to us. This is something that we started in 2019 already, and through 2020 it grew quite substantially. But I think by the end of last year we had close to 80 members.
Wow!
But the unanimous response to us as a trust is, well, you've asked us to join a club, but we're not doing anything. When can we come to the hospital? When can we get involved with things? So we're like, well, it's coming. Stand by. We can't come to the hospital now, but just keep the dream alive. It's going to happen. So this year, January, and now also early Feb, we met with some of the champs. We tried to engage them in our planning, and we encourage them also to start running their own things. Which is the unique idea for the trust as well, is that we don't just have a group of volunteers that we can use to do volunteering things. We involve them in our ecosystem of work so that the champs also have their ideas coming to the fore, and we just support them with resources. So for February, we have the Show Some Love campaign, which is the very first Champions for Children Run Volunteers campaign, where we're trying to give back some love to the very hard-working frontline workers, our nurses, our doctors, and the staff at the hospital, just by doing something simple, by getting bunches of flowers and delivering to the hospital to put in the wards.
Wow.
I like that. So it is I want to say a parallel contribution, because even if I was a volunteer, in this instance, a champion, I could come up with my own idea as well. It's not just waiting for the trust to say, okay, guys, here we go, we're doing this. But if I had to identify a need as well, And I think that is really
That
great.
is actually brilliant.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like another plus point. Just one. That's why I'm just in awe. This is what I mean. This is why I'm in awe. But luckily for us, we have one such champion with us.
Oh yeah, that's right. And we've got Venetia Brandt that is a champ at the moment. Venetia, so how did this all start for you?
So it all started. So I'm still quite a newbie. It started for me, I think, in May last year. Obviously with lockdown, and I just felt the need that there's so many people suffering in our communities, and I thought, what can I actually do? And I stumbled across the website, and I thought this is a great idea, great initiative to get involved, and that's how I became a champion.
And it was you discovered it. And were you aware of it, or were you like, so may I put it this way, were you literally doing research like, I want to do a little extra for society, and then Google stuff, or were you aware of what the trust was doing and thought this is, or you saw that specific need and thought, you know what, that's where I want to get involved in?
So I actually did a bit of homework. So I went, on the website, and I was just looking at different platforms. Also, Tygerberg Hospital is very close to my heart, and I thought this is it. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
I want to ask you this quickly, because I know Rhoda's got another question for you. Was it difficult to
Yes.
become a champ?
No, not at all. So there's actually a procedure, right? So there's two things that you actually need to become a champion. First of all, you need to have a clear criminal record, and also you need to have the passion for kids.
Okay.
That's the most important thing. And then obviously, if you do want to join, we do need a lot of people. So you can actually go onto the website. It's www.tygerbergchildren.org.za, and then you click on volunteer. You complete the form and submit. And then obviously, Yolanda will get back to you.
Okay.
I like that.
So just the question I wanted to really ask you as well was, I'm always kind of on the personal side, the touchy
Yes.
feeling person. Why did you become a champ? I mean, that's like a question anybody would ask. I don't think just anybody would become a champ at the end of the day.
What was the thing
love
that pushed
kids.
you?
Yeah, what was that thing that pushed you to the edge, besides COVID?
Besides COVID, I love kids. They're also our future leaders. So that is something that I believe in. And also they deserve a healthy, happy life.
Oh, so true. You're my best friend, Venetia. I'm very passionate about kids as well, and this is why the show is also being created, to get the information out there to our kids. So yeah, I feel you.
So
We're welcome to have you though, Rona. So
Definitely, I will look into it, definitely.
So Jason, we got a couple of questions and comments which I will pose to you in a short little bit. But just coming back to you, so this year we know the trust does amazing work, and you on your side you've got these wonderful champs or champions, which is the volunteers for the trust. And it is just a wonderful, wonderful initiative, let me just say. But this year particularly, you're doing a golf day. And it is my understanding you're doing this for the first time. And we all know that these are wonderful fundraising initiatives. And of course, funds is much needed.
It's critical.
Tell us a little bit about this golf day that's coming.
So the trust has always had golf days before, but run very differently.
Okay.
So this is our inaugural golf day with the rebranded trust, with our new team, the new vigor, everything, and done in a slightly different way. Of course, it's the first time we're having a golf day at this venue, which is the prestigious Pearl Valley Golf Course. So done a little bit differently. And also this year we are focusing on, it's important for us also to recognize why we do events, because it's very difficult firstly to make the money that we need out of events. If you look at the amount of work that's required and the financial gain, it doesn't always match up, especially for a small trust which doesn't have capacity to run events. But the interesting part about events is it allows us to engage with people in our ecosystem, which is basically at the core of our business model per se, is create friends through sharing stories so that they come on board just like the champs and all the other platforms that we have to become our friends and support us, because we cannot do the work that we want to do without the support of lots and lots of people. I don't mean organizations and donations, I mean human beings. One person by one person connected to us in a massive ecosystem of support. And the golf day and other events are ways to draw those crowds to us, to engage with us, to understand the work that we do around an event. Yes, hopefully we'll make a little bit of money out of that, which is also great, but mainly to connect people and the right people who are aligned to what we're trying to achieve through the work that we do.
And that is, you know what, and I like the way that you say connecting with people, because people, we all know this is an interactive show, and we've got some comments, and there's also one or two questions that I want to post to you quickly, but first let me just read here. It says, the Community Media Trust, they're watching as well, which is thank you very much for being part of the show. They're saying, the first time watching the show, it seems very, very informative. Love the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Hubert Paulser, thank you very much for your question. And Jason, I've got a question from Hubert Paulser, and I'm going to pose this question to you right now. It reads, Jason, just a quick question of more really an observation. Would it be wrong in saying you have almost taken over some of the social responsibility of the state with the trust? And if I may add to that as well, I mean, can we say that the trust was really created out of that need? And because, let's be honest, the state also has its hands full.
Yes, I can say yes to an extent to what you just said now, Dougald. We must understand that in South Africa, many entities behave a certain way over a very long time, and that is a system, if you look at it from a systems point of view. So South Africa is a massive entrenched system, including state and how state behaves, how communities behave, how businesses behave. All of those are stuck, not stuck, but there are systems that are entrenched over a very long time. What the trust is trying to do is to change that system through a very small, mobile, agile organization. Things very different. And we were lucky to be afforded that opportunity to do that way back in 2019, and to have a little bit of resources put into the study of this by our trustees who had faith in trying to find something better in a very bureaucratic system of state, big university, disparate communities, all these different stakeholders plugged into child patients at Tygerberg Hospital, but not really engaging in an agile way. Because like I say, the system is entrenched over a very long time. We can complain about this as much as we want. Nothing's going to happen because the system is stable. If we want to change these things, we need a vehicle that is able to, I won't say disrupt, even though we are disruptive, but disruption has to be managed in a way that people become happy to engage with you in the new paradigm that you're bringing. So you have to be inclusive of people. You have to be able to take the knocks when they come, but also have a clear vision of where you want to go to with this vehicle and how to get there. That's why we are so specific about having a strategic-led approach to what we're trying to do. It's very, very different. The vehicles that we bring into play are extremely different and unique because they all come out of our organizational thinking.
Yeah.
So they don't exist anywhere else. It's only on our trust. So we are trying to attract more and more people to support us who buy into what we're trying to achieve. We are very, very far from getting to that point. And of course, we'll never, it's a moving target, so we'll never actually get there. But by continuously pushing this heavy stone up a hill, eventually we'll get to the top and we'll get momentum, which is every year I think, okay, this is where we're going to get some momentum now. But I think we're not there yet. There's still a lot of pushing that needs to happen, but eventually things will start to unlock, and the benefits of all this work that our wonderful team is doing in carrying this load will bear some fruit, and others will be able to see, well, actually, this is a different way of doing things that's actually working.
Yeah.
And then you get more coming towards us. And I hope that answers the viewer's question.
No, I think you've definitely and Hubert Paul, so thank you very much for the question, and it's a very, very important question as well, Rhoda, because you've highlighted it, and I like the way you've described things, because I can really see the passion, and I can hear exactly what you're saying. And if you don't mind me saying, it's like the thoughts and your actions and everything the trust is doing is almost like fit for purpose, and it's really thought out, the sustainability of it, and you can definitely hear it. And on that note, we've got loads of comments, and I quickly just want to touch on them. And thank you very, very much for this. From Zitana saying it's amazing work that the Trust is doing. Lawazi Khoza, great to have you along as well, saying thank you for the show this morning. And Ayalimi wants to know how you can be part of the Gold Day event. So we're going to get that. Hubert also want to find out about all the golfing things as well, which we're still going to get to. But thank you very much for all your wonderful comments. We will touch base. But, yeah, because I know that's what you wanted to ask.
I was going to ask exactly that same question.
She plays golf, by the way. I do too.
There we go.
Another
So I think we need a bit more detail, seeing that we've got a lot of comments regarding the golf day. Could you give us a little bit more details on, how and what is it all about, and how can people actually get hold of you guys to actually be part of the golf day?
So there's a little social media poster floating around everywhere about the golf day. It has all the details. It's on Facebook, Instagram, also on our landing page on our website. But very simply, contact us, and someone from our team, either myself personally or the wonderful staff and team behind me, will get in contact with you, and it's as simple as that. So yeah, if you want to play golf and you want to come and engage with us in the work that we do, golf, and especially if you are a professional who wants to bring that whole network with you to engage in the work that we do, golf day is an awesome place to do that, and we really encourage you to buy a full ball or two and play with us.
Now, Leka, let me ask you, Venetia, just to bring you in here, do you play golf? Because I'm one, there's Rhoda's two, you could be three, but you're a champion, you're a volunteer, so you'll kind of be working as well.
More like cheating, though. I can't play golf, but yeah.
You keen for a draw?
I'll definitely be there. I'll make sure the ball goes into the hole.
There we go.
Whether it's cheating but I'll make sure.
Listen, Venetia, I want to ask you something, because I want to find out from Jason quickly about the Dropin Club. I want to find out about that. But when you hear Jason, the CEO of a trust, speak with that kind of passion and sort of saying these are the goalposts, these are the demands of the society, this is what we want to do. And he started off by saying, as a volunteer, or as a champion in this case, that's what you call volunteers, you guys, this is both ways. As well, we have ideas, but you also see needs and ideas. When you hear that, I mean, you must just be smiling from ear to ear.
Of course, it gives you that good feeling. And also, I mean, Jason is an amazing person, and seeing what he does, it gives us that positivity and to spread the love. That's all I can say. So hats off to Jason and the team.
And I must say, I mean, I've heard of a lot of volunteers, and there's always volunteers with animals and all of that. But it's the first time I've ever heard of where the trust is actually allowing you to give information and actually add into, what can we do for the year. I simply love that, because many a times you just as a volunteer will walk the dogs or basically come and clean the kennels or do something that is already structured. So you can't add really into that. And I'm quite excited about the fact that, you yourself as a volunteer then can actually give your information or input as well. Simply love that. So
that's just to add on to that. That's the one thing about the trust. They give you that platform where you can share ideas with the other champions, and we all work together to make this a success.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, it certainly is wonderful. Jason, just getting back to you, what is the Dropin Club about? Dropin.
So the Dropin is also a very unique club for the trust, similar to the Champions for Children, but designed for professionals. So many MPOs around this time of the year especially, they offer a Section 18A certificate because we're also a PBO. We can offer Section 18A certificates to professionals who wish to give us, donate some money to the trust in exchange for this, and the government then is able to give them a tax break.
Okay.
So we take this a step further. So you know what? Thanks for your donation and for choosing us. But how about as a professional, become part of this group of professionals who can do similar things as the champs, but maybe more on a professional level. So you also have networks, you also have ideas what you'd like to engage the trust with. Let's put you all in a club and call it the Dropin Club. And this was founded by the head of neonatology, Professor Johan Smith, who is an absolutely amazing person and a trustee. And he's now retiring. So I think we always keep him as the ambassador of the Dropin Club. He's really just such an amazing guy. And you can go to our website and read what he thinks about the Dropin Club and his encouragement of it. He's the founding member of the Dropin Club. And it will be great to have many more members join the Dropin Club and start to create a pool of professionals who would like to use the trust vehicle to drive change into society through the work that the trust does.
I like that. I certainly like that. And it is just, I got to be honest with you, and it might seem, and I am singing praises, let's be very honest, but I like the way it's out of the box. It is constantly evolving because this is where you see that it needs. Do you know what I mean? You're working a certain path and you notice things. And you're like, oh, here's another. It wasn't your primary concern when you started off, but you see different things, and it's constantly, the need gets bigger and bigger. And I like the way that things get together. And on that note, because it's exactly what a viewer, Odette Engelbrecht, is saying. She says, this is absolutely amazing what you guys are doing, and a great show. And it is so wonderful to know communities are so active in uniting, and especially in these difficult times. And that is exactly what it is. So thank you very much, Odette, for also for saying that.
Yeah, and just on that, I mean, we've discussed now, we've got our volunteers for the trust, basically, and this is one involvement. Then we've got our 10 Club, which is a Dropin Club as well. So my point at this point is, how does public then get involved? Because now they don't necessarily belong to the 10 Club, they're not volunteers, but how does the public then get involved?
So the trust is in business science what you call an ecosystems and platforms business model. So by ecosystems, I mean we connect with other business entities to help do the work that the trust does. So the trust itself as its own entity is very, very small, but we have a lot of rings, concentric rings of supporting businesses that help us do our work, which is also important to us and also unique for a charity, because by doing this, we can also say that the trust engages in for-profit support in the business network around our communities, which also speaks to the holistic nature of healthcare and wellness. So if local businesses are engaged with the trust commercially, that economic impact also filters down into our communities, which helps ultimately our kids have access to support in their homes because their parents might be working, or the ecosystem filters into their homes. That might be the key for them not to have malnutrition and end up at Tygerberg Hospital for healthcare issues. So that's important for us from a business ecosystem point of view. And then platforms, how can you engage with the trust? We've got so many platforms, we actually have to stop making platforms because management of it is going to become the problem. So we have the Champions, which is anybody's free to join there. We have volunteers now from Europe, from the UK, from KwaZulu-Natal, all joining and saying, this is great, how can we be involved? And they all bring support to the trust. It doesn't always have to be physical presence to do something. You can just engage with the group and give advice or give us some information about what's happening overseas for COVID or whatever. So there's a Champions for Children and the very nascent club, the Dropin Club. The more members we have there, who are professionally networked, the more that opens up a whole different channel of opportunity for the trust.
Yeah.
So the Dropin Club and the golf day kind of addresses that same audience. So if you come play golf day with us, for sure someone's going to ask you, would you like to join the Dropin Club?
Yeah,
Club, we can continuously engage with you through the year.
that's
So the
right.
Dropin Club is annual membership, not membership, but because you make a donation for a year period, we just ask you to come and engage with us for that year as part of the Dropin.
Yeah, Jason, just a quick one, because I think there was a bit of a misunderstanding probably regarding the golf day. So for me personally, I think no matter what your handicap is, as long as you're coming through and supporting, so you don't have to be that professional golfer, as long as you got a handicap and you've got a number, I think you can come and play.
Rhoda's very good. That's what she's not telling you. She's very, very good. But Jason, I like what you're saying, because what you're saying exactly as to what you guys are doing is like 2 heads are more better than 1. 10 heads are better than 2. 100 heads are better than 10. That is exactly what you're saying, and I like that. And Venetia, I want to ask you this: Are you? Because Jason touched on this earlier, the Show Some Love campaign.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
He touched on this. Are you involved in this? Are you involved in any other campaigns? What it is exactly that you are doing right now?
Just to touch on what Jason was saying earlier about Show Some Love. So this campaign runs for the entire month, February. So we're actually looking for, for cash donations to actually go buy flowers and give them to the healthcare workers. I mean, they've been working really, really hard. So any donations, they are welcome. Even if there's people that actually want to sponsor some flowers, you guys are more than welcome to contact us via Instagram, via Facebook, LinkedIn. So yeah, and obviously there's a lot of planning that's going on. So, but for this month, we're concentrating on this campaign, Show Some Love.
And on that note, have you been handing out flowers already, or does it happen towards the latter part of the month?
Jason, just correct me. I think we've done that already. But yes, yeah.
So the continuation throughout the month, and
throughout the month, yes.
And with this, of course, if somebody would like to pledge a donation, how would they go about that?
So basically, they can go on to the website. Obviously, the banking details. You can access the banking details, or we can send it through if you request it, and you can just say maybe anonymous donation towards Social Love, and yeah.
You know what? I want to add my 2 cents here, and it is really my 2 cents. So obviously, during the times we couldn't go out of homes, because I don't like to use the L word anymore. When I was confined to my place, you would see, and then throughout the world we've been doing it, and to an extent we've been doing it here as well, where healthcare workers and frontline workers are celebrated throughout the world.
Oh, yeah.
And I always felt we're a little bit. I want to see more of us as well, as a nation and as a continent, because they're doing it everywhere. And then let's not be, it doesn't matter where they show a uniform from. That is that uniform represents the planet in every sort of way. But this initiative of showing love is exactly that. And to me, this is one of the most profound things I've seen or heard about, to be quite honest, that is actually happening. And I love that, and it is so important. And that's why I want to add my 2 cents. I think it is very important that we do show our love, especially for the frontline workers, especially those healthcare workers doing what they're doing, because and it has been tough, Rhoda.
It has. Just quickly on that as well, seeing it as flowers, if person necessarily doesn't want to give donation money-wise, can they actually donate flowers or bouquets as well? Is that a possibility?
That is a possibility. Obviously, we didn't think about this, but if there's people that is actually willing to donate some flowers, I mean, there's a lot of champs, so we can actually collect these flowers. So that's welcome.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
And Venetia, I want to ask you, and this is really my final question that I have, and I've thought about it. So you've been involved with the trust since May last year, okay, which was obviously a very difficult time. You know, that was smack bang in the
That was
heart
smack
of
bang.
the L situation. So you were a bit involved in it, and I mean, and you were approaching a sort of a year. Over this time, this must have been, I'm sure you have grown as a person. You have your vision and perspective on situations might have changed. If you had to speak to somebody that would like to become a volunteer and eventually end up being a champion or a champion for the trust, you would have learned so much. What would be one of those things that you would tell those people?
I would probably, as a person, you grow, and this is my belief. The change that you want to see in the world, it's there. It's all in your hands. So make the difference. Be
Yeah.
the change that you want to see in the world.
Ah, it's
Wow,
absolutely
that
fabulous.
is so beautiful.
Yeah,
That is so true.
Yeah, that hits it from me. I suppose we need to find out where and what and all of this. So, Jason, contact details. Where
Please,
do we
Jason.
get in touch with the trust and what do we do?
What's our next
Very
step?
simply, go to the website, which is www.tygerbergchildren.org.za, and everything is there. If you're still stuck, you can just click on the contact us and send us a mail, and we'll help you.
It's as easy as that. So before we go, we got a couple of comments, and I actually want to go through this. So we're just going to take a brief moment, and I just want to say thank you very much to everybody watching, of course, for your comments. And it is really inspiring seeing some of those comments as they come through, and people wishing the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, of course, all the best and everything that is there. Hubert Paulson's got a comment there at the bottom who says, "Not all superheroes wear cape." You know what I mean? And I think this is it. And Odette Engelbrecht, thank you very much. It is wonderful, and we agree with you that we have these wonderful people doing these amazing things in that time as well. We just want to scroll through all that whole screen there just to make sure we got all the comments. We got everything there, Oda. Any questions that we looks like we got everything, which is look at us.
Travel was waiting for the show.
Yeah.
He was excited, so I hope you enjoyed that travel.
I've got no more questions. So basically, all the information you need, you go to the website, you will find
That's
it
right.
out there. Jason and Venetia, I'm sure you got loads of questions, and please ask Rhoda.
Look here, I know for a fact that we could probably continue this back and forth for the whole day. I mean, this is so exciting and so close to our hearts at the end of the day. And I would really want to thank you guys for taking this time out to actually give us this information, you know, and we really appreciate it. And the masses and people out there take advantage of a situation on wanting to do something different in the world. This is your opportunity to do that difference. And like Venetia said, this is our future generation. So this is our leaders, our future leaders. You know, we need to make sure that our foundation phase is right and that our kids are sorted out at the end of the day. You know, this is one of those places that actually sees to our kids. I mean, are still stuck on 60%, which is not a little, which is quite massive.
So, you know what, I like what you said about difference, and this is something I actually missed, and one of the producers just pulled my attention to that. So this I just want to, I need to say this. But firstly, I got to say to you, but Paulson, my man, that's all I can do. Thank you. Thank you. And I want you to listen to this. Hubert Paulson says, Moondrops Flowers, so this is in touch now with the Show Love campaign. Moondrop Flowers would like to donate 1,000 rands worth of flowers to the campaign.
Well done.
So
Wow, that's
Hubert, wow.
amazing.
Moondrops, well
what
done.
can I say? What can I say? So
Wow.
I am sure somebody from the trust will be in touch with you, and thank you very much for that. Your generosity and your compliments and really your awareness.
Well done.
Well done, sir. It is inspirational. Hubert Paulson, thank you very much. That is absolutely awesome. And I must tell you, you're the one who said heroes don't wear capes. Well, now we kind of know what a hero looks like.
Definitely.
Looks like Hubert Paulson. They certainly do. They certainly do.
So Hubert's put the challenge out there, everybody. Come now.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, no, and I think it is absolutely wonderful, exactly to what you say. So, please, Hubert Paulson is doing something amazing, and please, you can join in as well, of course. And as as Jason alluded to, you go to the website, Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Go to the website. You'll find all the details there. And please do that.
Yeah.
I have no more questions, seriously.
Same
And
this side.
Jason and Venetia don't have questions for you, which is not fair.
I only have one question.
Okay,
Here we go.
Go for it.
Are you coming to play golf or not?
I'll definitely be there. Don't you worry.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'll have to go dust the golf, my sticks, and get my bag out there. It's full of dust right now. So yeah, I'll have to go get it.
It's going to be a wonderful day.
Thank
Jason
you guys.
Falken, Venetia Brandt, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on Mahala Monday. That is all I can say. And thank you so much for your time and from both of us, and I think
Oh,
everybody
most
watching as
definitely.
well. Keep doing what you do, and thank you for making that difference in our communities and in our society. And also, you guys are raising the bar.
Oh yeah.
You are. That's all I can say. So we wish you well. Thank you very much for your time. Anything
Yeah.
you would like to add, Rhoda?
I think just also people out there at the end of the day, you know, we got a lot of corruption happening and things happening as well. When you do your funding, make 100% sure it's with the children's trust as well, you know. So there is just so many guys out there chanting their arms. I mean, you know, so if you do see anything to do with the children's trust, always just do a bit of homework to make 100% sure it is legit. And it is, you know, going towards the funding at the end of the day. So just highlighting that, because you always get these guys knocking on your doors and, you know, you're not 100% sure if it's going to the school or if it's really for that purpose. So, you know, do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework. Jason Falken, Venetia Brandt, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us on Mahala Monday today.
Thank you.
Thank
you,
you.
Rhoda.
And there you have it, Rhoda. I tell you
Yeah.
what, they do amazing work. We can't sing their praises. And because they do
Definitely.
amazing work, you have wonderful people, wonderful citizens like Hubert Pauls who wants to get involved. And that is
Oh,
exactly
yeah.
what Venetia said, you know. She wanted to get involved. She wanted to make a difference. And
So
this is
true.
really how things snowball. And I like that because I'm one of those people. That's why I copy you. When you do something quite, then I want to do it as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I copy you.
No, but
Oh, my
I
word.
follow you. And this is the important thing. This
Yeah.
is the important thing. We all know the pandemic has thrown a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
And then another curveball came, and now we're all in the dark. We know
So
this.
true. Yeah.
60%, you said the numbers, he said it. 60% of children depend on this
That's
trust.
so true.
These are huge numbers.
That's so
The
true.
trust needs your help. This is how Venetia said, future leaders.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. This is your bit. You got to do it. Everything you need to know. You go to Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust. Please have a look at their website. They've got great things coming up. Golf Day is a few months away. There's great ways for you to get involved as well. They've got this wonderful show, Love Campaign on as well. And of course, you definitely get involved. And the kicker to all of that is, they don't tell you what to do. You also come with an idea or two.
There we go.
They've got things happening. Give and take, baby.
Yeah. There's so much involved with
I
volunteering
like that.
as well.
One
Yeah.
of definitely, I got to be saying, one of the best programs I've seen and all of
Seen.
that.
Most definitely,
Yeah.
most definitely. And so, you know what? If I don't see you at one of the functions, I'll see you at the golf day. How's that?
I'm still thinking like, yeah, okay. We'll see what the future holds. But most of all, thank you for being part of Mahala Monday today as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the comments.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we hope you enjoyed this episode. This is what Mahala Monday is all about. It's informative and this is your show. So we look forward to hearing from you. And of course, and more importantly, you join us next week when
That's
we
right.
are back.
That's right. And don't forget, you can see all our shows on our YouTube channel, which is Nickay Productions. If there's anything that you missed out and wanting for more information, go back to our YouTube channel.
Until next time, from Rhoda and myself, have a brilliant day. Enjoy the rest of the month of love, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.